Hello everybody, it's Sylvie. Welcome back to Tarot Magpie. I hope you're doing good. Today's video is a little bit of an experiment of sorts, I guess. Basically, I am going to be having a very busy sort of week and a half, 2 weeks coming up. I'm not exactly sure when the video is going to go live. I'm filming this on Wednesday, the 9th of August. So I think, yeah, for about the next fortnight, I'm going to be busy. I'm helping my partner move, and then I am flying up with them to where they are moving to kind of help them settle in and spend a couple of days with them before I fly back home. But anyway, I'm going to be busy, and I wanted to pick a tarot deck that I can just kind of have as my go-to tarot deck for the next couple of weeks. So that's what today is, and I thought how I would do this would be by doing like a little mini deck interview for these are the 4 tarots that I'm kind of picking from. As I'm filming this, I have already done my mini deck interviews. I did them outside in the garden, and I was going to sort of film outside, but then the neighbour children were outside being loud, so I thought I would just kind of film me laying the spreads out, and then I'll reconstruct them here and kind of talk through them a little bit. So that's what we're doing. I've kind of cobbled together a deck interview spread, which I will show you briefly, and then we'll go through how these 4 decks came out. So I have the Wild Unknown Pocket Edition, the Tarot of the Toiling Hands, the Crow Tarot, and the Crystal Visions Tarot. Let's get into it. Okay, so please forgive the lighting situation that's happening. It's sunny and it's coming through my window at a bizarre angle. So this is my very unprofessional looking deck interview that I have drawn together. So basically it's just a 5-card spread. I don't do deck interviews as like a matter of routine when I get a new deck. They've just never really been, I've never got much out of them. So I kind of looked at a couple and sort of cobbled this one together out of some questions, because also I didn't want to be doing like in-depth 10-card spreads for this, because I just want to pick a deck for the next couple of weeks. This is just a bit of fun, really. So anyway, I have 5 positions. So we've got how does the deck see itself? How does the deck see me? Card number 3, kind of in the middle here, is what's our working relationship going to look like? And then the 2 cards at the bottom, 4 and 5, are just a strength and a weakness of the deck, of that relationship, sort of a thing. So I tried to put it together in a way that the card signifying our relationship is in the middle, and then, you know, me and the deck are at the top and strengths and weaknesses are at the bottom. So that's the little spread that I'm working with. I think I'm going to insert clips of me drawing the cards and then talk about them here. So hopefully with some editing magic this will look okay. Right, so I'm going to do this in the order that I actually pulled cards in, because that seems to make sense. So, for the Wild Unknown Pocket Edition, we had how does the deck see itself? The 8 of Swords. How does the deck see me? The 6 of Wands. Our working relationship as the Son of Wands, which is the Knight in this deck. And then a strength is the Fool, and a weakness is the Ace of Pentacles. How does the deck see itself? We've got the 8 of Swords, trapped, powerless, refusing to open your wings and take flight, trapped like a moth in a bath. Let me know if you know that reference. So if the deck feels trapped, I feel like that's kind of maybe not a red flag, but definitely a flag of some kind, that we're maybe not communicating well, or it doesn't feel like it can communicate with me, because I suppose the Swords it's about the mental, it's about logic, it's about communication. Maybe it's a sign that I need to try a little bit harder to work with it. I remember saying in my unboxing of this deck that the artwork I'm kind of not too sure on. Some of it I felt made sense and some of it really didn't speak to me, so I think that's what that is getting at. Well, how the deck sees itself is like struggling to communicate with me. And how does it see me though? We've got the 6 of Wands, which is like victory, success, rising up, taking flight here with this butterfly and the joy of success. And I think that's a really interesting parallel, actually, that it sees us both as butterflies, and, you know, it's struggling to take flight and I'm having taken flight. So maybe this is showing I can overcome the difficulty of communication in the Eight of Swords and hone in on some Six of Wands confidence, maybe. I think actually this is this the decan of Leo that we're in right now? Like I say, I'm filming this on August the 9th. I'm not exactly sure when the dates are, so I'm not sure if we're still in the Six of Wands, but that's a cute little synchronicity. Anyways, what is our working relationship like? Son of Wands, which, like I say, is the... Do you know what? This spread looks a little bit like a butterfly, which was not intentional. But I like butterflies, so I'm not mad about it. Anyway, sorry, the Son of Wands as our working relationship, the Knight of Wands. Again, more like Wands energy. I think the Son of Wands is charming, adventurous. It's like a trust your instincts kind of relationship. So trust your instincts to lead to victory, maybe, hopefully. It does seem to be an indication to like lean more into the Wands energy with this deck in particular, I think. Especially with like the Six of Wands being so positive here, and the swords being much less so. And then our strength and our weakness. So the strength is the Fool and the weakness is the Ace of Pentacles. And I think this is really interesting because they're both like beginnings. They kind of mirror each other. The Fool, we've got like spontaneity and innocence, but then the weakness, we've got the essence of Pentacles here. So like the deck is good at new things, but not new things concerning money or career. At least that's the kind of energy I'm getting for the moment. So I think that's an interesting reading. Based on this, I think this is definitely a contender for my like travel deck. Also, like, it is a travel size, which is handy. But leaning into the Wands energy and kind of pushing past perceived barriers in like communication with the cards, which, let's be honest, is communication with myself and whatever I'm kind of reading about. And, you know, these next 2 weeks are not for new career things, new money moves, new like material stuff for me. But it is also like a new beginning of a sort because my partner's moving up and we're starting like a new phase of our relationship, sort of a thing. So I think this is generally quite good vibes. Okay, next up was the Tarot. Is it the Tarot of the Toiling Hands? That's what I keep calling it. Okay, I think we're all in frame. So here, Tarot of the Toiling Hands, we have, how does the deck see itself? The Tower, chaotic illumination, disaster, razing to the ground. Sirens going past outside my window as I talk about the Tower card. That seems very appropriate. How does the deck see me? Three of Swords. Am I heartbroken? Am I breaking someone else's heart? Am I breaking my own heart? Who knows? How does the deck see our relationship? King of Swords. Again, it's kind of intense, it's kind of severe, it's air of air energy, logic over empathy, which kind of, it's all feeling very intense, isn't it? Strength of the deck, we've got the Hierophant, which again is feeling, it's not touchy-feely, is it? The Hierophant is like, it's going to disseminate wisdom, but it's also got like a strictness to it or a sternness to it, I think, a bit like the King of Swords. Like, you know, think like dogma, somebody who is teaching you, but they hold all the knowledge, they hold all the cards, like they are letting you learn as much as they are guiding you to learn. Does that make sense? And a weakness, Ace of Pentacles again. So clearly I just don't need to be asking about starting new pentacle related ventures in my life in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, this is much more intense, much more scary vibes, I'm going to be honest. And I think the titles on these are really interesting as well. So like, I think this is interesting though, and I think if I was in the place for doing some intense kind of shadow work type stuff, this would be a good one based on this reading. But I think it's already going to be quite a stressful, emotional next couple of weeks, so I think we're not going to go there. But like, how does the deck see itself? The Master of Chaotic Awakening. I don't know if this is showing up. It sees itself as the Master of Chaotic Awakening, and it sees me as the Lord of Abject Misery. So like, I think in a sense it's like you need someone to snap you out of this Three of Swords moment. And I've been pulling the Tower and Death both quite a lot recently, and often in the position of a spread. Not in this deck, not in this spread obviously, but it's often been in like the card representing me or the thing that I'm doing, or that kind of a position. It's really often been the Tower or the Death card recently. So like, intense vibes. Anyway, this I think is interesting because like with this like, you know, heartbreak, Lord of Abject Misery, this next couple of weeks sees me helping my partner pack up and move a very long way away. So like, it kind of is accurate. Like, I'm feeling emotional about it. Like it's all good. It's all for the good. But I'm not going to pretend that I'm looking forward to my partner being hours away. Anyways, so yeah, our working relationship is this like facts don't care about your feelings kind of thing. The father of immense intellect, but like a king isn't collaborating. He's ruling. He's making the decisions. So you've got this kind of illumination from on high. You've got this leader who, again, isn't very touchy-feely. Neither is the Hierophant. And yeah, the god of tradition and the three worlds for the Hierophant, which again, it's like, it's much bigger than the individual, is the strength of this deck in this position, in this reading. So I think again, like if I wanted to do some like big picture stuff, some like quite intense stuff, this deck is good for that. Not so much for what I'm actually looking for the next couple of weeks. And yeah, a weakness. Ace of Pentacles, the genesis of opulence, abundant. Like, this is not the time. This is not what this deck wants to deal with. It does not want to be dealing with like material stuff and abundance. It wants to be getting into the nitty gritty, like reconfiguring my world and my worldview. So yeah, this is all a bit yikes, all a bit intense. I do think it all makes sense. Like I feel like it all comes together. And like I say, if I was in the mood for some like intense, deep, really like having to sit with stuff and having to really think about stuff, this would be a good one to pull for. But it's just not the vibes right now. I think it wants to like really hit me with some truths, kind of give me the information and see what I decide to do with it, rather than like hold my hand. Like the king's not holding anyone's hand, sort of a thing. The Tower, certainly not holding anyone's hand. Anyway. So who is next? We have the Crystal Visions Tarot, which I think I mentioned this in the video not too long ago. I think it was must be my Cancer season like wrap up, I think. I also did an unboxing of this, but I've been reaching for this. I've been really liking using it, but it's been not harsh, it's not been mean, but it's just kind of been quite intense. And so this reading was actually very pleasant. So it seems like the deck is in a bit of a different mood. Anyway, so how do you see yourself? The Three of Cups, that kind of collaborative, celebratory energy, which, yeah, is not my experience with this deck so far, but happy to take it. How does it see me? The Lovers, which is kind of cute. Like making a commitment and kind of making a decision, and that's definitely true for me right now, especially with the like romantic overtones of the Lovers. Like, yes, I am making a commitment and helping my partner move a short flight away, but like I'm feeling very committed to things. What's our working relationship like? The Sun, which is gorgeous, good vibes, I love it. Like I said, not what I've experienced from this deck so far, but like I'll take it. And honestly, one of my favorite keywords or like key phrases for the Sun is paradise found. Like it's this place of joy and safety, which again ties in quite nicely for Leo season. but it's a major card, so it's big energy. There's still like an intensity. It's not light and soft and fluffy. It's collaborating with me and the choices that I'm making, and like hopefully hinting that they're good ones and the right ones, and that there's that in working with this deck I can like pull out the joy and the celebration and the love and abundance and all that good stuff from, which is honestly what I need from a deck for the next couple of weeks, because it's going to be busy, intense, stressful, very emotional. So like a deck that can kind of really pull out the like lightness from what's going on, I think would be great. Strength of this reading with this deck is the Six of Swords, which is interesting because the Six of Swords is like a bittersweet journey and transition, hopefully to a land of sunshine. Oh my god, wait. Okay, I think this deck might be the one. So this is my phone case. Ignore the banana avocado stickers. But so this was a fortune from a fortune cookie back in like April. You are heading for a land of sunshine. And I put it in my phone case because I was aggressively depressed at this time. And I was like, it fucking better be. And hey, there she is, my land of sunshine. So this is feeling very good. Anyway, so maybe that's where I'm journeying to. Yes, and the weakness is the Chariot. So like, it's good at journeys. It's not good at going fast. Or like good at journeys, but like I've made this choice. I'm on this journey. I've made the decision to make this journey, which is what the Six of Swords is about, as much because it's about like the intellect. So I've like decided on a course of action. It's not so interested in giving me any more direction. It's not so interested in like driving me at this moment. Instead of making the choices and kind of driving and taking the reins and taking control, it's more the kind of next step of having done that. It's like, it's the after having made the decision to leave, it's after having made the choice, it's making sure that's taken on a good path, I think, which I like. And so yeah, there's three majors in this one, and then cups and swords, which I think is quite a nice balance. You've got like the intellect and then also the empathy, rather than like, say in the Toiling Hands we had the King of Swords, who I think can be just logic and just intellect but without empathy, and that is not necessarily a good thing, whereas I think this feels a bit more balanced. And you know, my land of sunshine, I'm very much feeling this. So we have the Crow Tarot. So how does this deck see itself? We've got Temperance. How does it see me? Page of Cups, cute. How does it see what's our working relationship? Is Justice. Strength. We've got the Three of Cups again, and the Knight of Wands for weakness. Again, this came up in the, yeah, these are both duplicates. We had the Knight of Wands as our working relationship in the Wild Unknown, and the Three of Cups just now as how the deck sees itself with the Crystal Visions. Anyway, so this deck, in my using it so far, and I've been really enjoying it recently, this is why these decks were all here. It's because I've either been enjoying using them recently, which was this one, or the Crystal Visions. This one is new and I wanted to play with it, and also in a video I recently filmed that I think is not going to be up when this video goes up, I was talking about how I think this is maybe going to be a good deck for when I'm feeling overstimulated. And then the Toiling Hands is just my newest deck, and I wanted to play with it, but clearly she's not in a playful mood right now. Anyway, back to the Crow Tarot. So how does it see itself? Temperance, blending fire and water, making something out of extremes, like patience and balance, and like harmonizing, harmony. And how does it see me? As the Page of Cups, which is cute. So like creative, inspired, full of potential, which I like. I've been feeling quite creative recently, so I quite like that the deck has noticed, you know. What's our working relationship? Justice. Again, we've got like more balance, but this is more in a sort of laying down the law, quite literally, because it's the Justice. It's not necessarily kind or gentle, which checks out with the Crow Tarot, quite frankly. A Strength, the Three of Cups, collaborative, which I think works nicely with the kind of balance going on here, and then also like brings the cups in from me as my Page of Cups. but also quite like joyful and celebratory. So like it's, I think, not going to be fluffy because we've got like Justice here, we've got Temperances again, like it's a major card, so it's quite big energy. But there's joy to be had in this collaboration, I think. And so like as a strength of working with this deck, collaboration, celebration, which I think is the kind of energy I want for the moment. And a weakness, we've got the Knight of Wands, which, yes, is another duplicate. And I think that this is showing the deck is not all too interested in like charging on ahead right now. Lean into the Cup's energy a bit maybe. But yes, rein in the passion, rein in the energy. Instead of charging ahead, it wants to focus on like the balance and the collaboration that we can have, and then it can help me develop, I think. So that was all 4 of my little deck interviews, and I think in case it wasn't extremely obvious, I'm going to be going with the Crystal Visions Tarot, which I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to it. This is definitely giving me like good vibes, good energy, and I think this is a very beautiful deck as well, and it is relatively new. I only got it, I don't know, a month ago or so, so I'm looking forward to working with it a little bit more, not intensely necessarily, just a little more single-mindedly over the next couple of weeks. So that's that is everything from me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. This was a little bit of an experiment, so please let me know if you thought it was successful or interesting to watch, to see me like do the same spread with a few different decks. Obviously this was not a very like in-depth reading of each of these spreads, because that could easily take me hours and hours. It was more of a vibe check, which funnily enough is the last video I did was also a vibe check. It was the cards that I used to vibe check a deck, and this I guess is the reading I'm using to vibe check a deck, so go check that out if you haven't already. But yes, I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you very much for watching and for spending some time with me. I hope you've enjoyed. Give me a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.